when you're putting your art out there, when you're showing up authentically, you need people in your corner who get it. And not just get it, but push you to be a better, more creative version of yourself. To constantly challenge you in the right spots, right? Like, know when to challenge you and know when to be supportive. The people that get it, a community, a tribe, a relationship, a partnership, whatever, it works in every aspect of your life. Welcome back to another episode of the Made Different podcast. If you called last episode with Jess, then your mind is probably still blown from the deep dive into EFT tapping and manifestation and all that crazy stuff. Not crazy, all that stuff that we talked about. And especially where we dive into cutting through all the bullshit that the toxic spiritual community has. And that conversation really got me thinking about the one coming this Friday with singer-songwriter Zelly Vibes. So when Jess and I were talking in last week's episode about manifestation and energy and creating the life you want, there was this underlying theme or topic that we really didn't dive into too much. And that is that the people you surround yourself will literally shape your life and impact your life. Let's get real for a couple seconds here. A couple years ago, I was in this weird space where I felt super stuck and not motivated at all. I felt like I was constantly chasing, and if you listen to last week's solo episodes, we talk about like that feeling of chasing versus attracting and all that stuff. But a few years ago, I was feeling really stuck in this place, stuck with my goals. They weren't moving along. My energy was off. And I really kept wondering why nothing was changing. And for so long, I kept playing victim and being like, well, my dad passed away. Girl, that was like 2 years before any of this. Or like, my grandpa passed or whatever. And I kept not realizing that the real problem was I had surrounded myself with people that were comfortable being stuck and comfortable with the life that they had created or chosen to live. And that's not a dig on them. Like, I'm still friends with some of the people I hung out during this time. But here's what I learned. If you're the only person in your circle that's pushing or trying to achieve greatness or do more in your life and really change your legacy and change your generational energy or whatever you want to call it, challenging yourself, dreaming bigger, it gets really lonely real fucking quick. And more than that, it gets super hard to maintain the energy. Because, and again, this is no hate towards anyone. Everyone's on their own journey. But let's say you're the only one that has goals, like massive goals, not even just goals, but massive goals, or your goals are different than the people that you surround yourself. Then let's say, for example, you have a $10,000 a month in your business. People that are making minimum wage are going to feel so excited for you and be like, dude, you're doing so good. Like, why do you want more? Like, that is so good. Versus put yourself in a situation where you're hanging out with people that are making that in a week or in a day. They're going to push you to continue strive for more. Again, this is no dig towards the people that are okay with what they have and where they are, but it's just something for you to reflect on. You know that saying that's like your vibe attracts your tribe? Well, I think it works both ways. I think, yes, your vibe attracts your tribe, but more than that and deeper than that, your tribe influences your vibe. And this isn't some like woo shit, even though we love the woo here. This is actually scientific facts. Studies show that you become the average of the 5 people you hang out with the most and you see and surround yourself with the most. Their habits, their mindset, their energy, it rubs off on you. So for example, let's say you let's say your family member or your partner or your friend comes into town and they're staying with you for a week, or you go visit them and you're staying with them for a week. A lot of the times, if there's someone that wakes up in a bad mood and isn't ready for the day, has no motivation, is just like sluggish, that's gonna rub off on you, and you're gonna be like, I was going to go on a walk, but you know what, maybe we'll just stay in and like be sad. Like, that shit rubs off on you. And so it's so important to be aware of who you're allowing into your energy and who you're spending your time with. This is why I just know that Friday's episode, Zelly, is gonna hit so hard for you guys, because it hit hard for me too. As a singer-songwriter, she knows firsthand the importance and like how crucial it is to protect your energy and surround yourself with the right crew and with the right people. When you're putting your art out there, when you're showing up authentically, you need people in your corner who get it, and not just get it, but push you to be a better, more creative version of yourself, to constantly challenge you in the right spots, right? Like, know when to challenge you and know when to be supportive. The people that get it, a community, a tribe, a relationship, a partnership, whatever, it works in every aspect of your life. They have to get it, they have to understand. So real quick, before you continue listening to this episode, which I know you're enjoying because you're still here, I wanted to do a quick little check-in with you and see how you're doing. Because so many times we just go through our day not even asking ourselves or checking in with ourselves, and that's how a lot of resentment and like burnout and all this nasty little things build up. So when you take a moment and just check in with yourself, how are you doing today? Like, honestly, I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of journaling. I think it's a key factor that really changed my life, and it is one of the reasons I've manifested so many things in my life. And that is why I created my own prompted journal, which you can find right now on Amazon. It's called Journaled. 222 journal prompts to explore your thoughts and discover yourself. And I'm mentioning this because, one, I think journaling is such a massive thing, but two, I think if you're listening to this, you're someone that wants to constantly improve yourself or make yourself be and show up as the best version of you. So yes, this episode is sponsored by myself, by Journaled, and this is just your invitation and reminder to pick up your copy. I will leave the link in the show notes or in the description for you to grab your own copy, and we could continue 2025 journaling together. I think it's super sick. All right, let's get back into the episode. And that doesn't mean they have to be doing the same thing, but it's a mindset thing. It's an energetic thing. The wild thing I noticed is that ever since I committed to doing this podcast consistently, to showing up for my business consistently, to joining a mastermind back in March, I've noticed how quickly my tribe and my circle and who I'm constantly talking to and surrounding myself with, how quickly that changed. And I'm not talking about how I ditched all my friends from the past and like how I'm so much better, because that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is surround yourself with people that get it, people that want to see you succeed, because they know when their circle succeeds, they succeed, and it becomes this like ecosystem of people living in their most authentic, most creative, most truthful selves. And if it wasn't for that mindset shift, that perspective shift within me, and really understanding, because I knew this concept of you are who you surround yourself with. If I didn't take the time to sit at the table, to go out and network and meet people, to put my story, my content on social media, chances are I would not be having these amazing conversations that you guys get to hear every single Friday. Because I wouldn't be vibrating at that same frequency, at that same level of creativity that they are. People like Jessica, like Zelly, like Rachel, like Sonia, and like all the other guests that you're going to hear in this podcast, like you listening to this podcast right now, we all attracted each other because we know the importance of who you surround yourself with. So before I let you go and before Friday hits and you listen to my episode, Zelly, I want you to do something. Take your phone out or a piece of paper or whatever and write down the 5 people that you spend the most time with. This can literally be your partner, this could be your parents, this could be a friend from school, a work friend, like, or just a colleague even. Like, don't forget about the people that maybe you're not friends with, but you're constantly in their energy. Then ask yourself these questions. Number 1, do these people challenge me to grow? Number 2, do they support my dreams even if they don't understand them? 3, and I think this is one of the more important ones, do I feel energized or drained after spending time with them? And 4, are they on their own personal journey of growth? And this is not to judge the people you hang out with. This is not to like automatically cut them off. It's just an invitation for you to become aware and see where maybe there's some energy leakage and understand that something might have to be done. And like I said, it doesn't have to be as drastic as cutting people off. You can, but sometimes you live with them, or they're your parents, or you work with them, so you can't necessarily cut off people. I mean, you could, but some people you just can't. So it's about learning those energetic boundaries, and we could dive into that in another episode. But I want you to sit with these questions and just start becoming aware of who you're spending time with, how your energy feels when you're around them, and all of the stuff we just talked about. So on Friday, for Zelly's episode, she shares some incredible insights into this. How she built her support system, how she protects her artistic vision, and done the necessary mindset work to show up authentically as her in her music and her arts. Trust me, whether you're an artist or not, her perspective is going to change how you think about the people that you spend the most time with and surround yourself with. Until then, I want you to really focus and like take a moment with the questions. Think about whose energy you're constantly taking in and taking as your own. And more importantly, what energy are you putting out there for the world to receive? Because just like anything else, and like we've been talking about, the right tribe isn't just going to magically fall into your lap. You have to become the person who's going to attract them, because they're picky about their energy too. If this episode hit home, make sure to share it with someone that needs to hear this. Maybe it's a girlfriend that you feel like you guys are on the same vibe, same level, and yeah, just share it with someone. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the episode with Zelly on Friday. If you haven't listened to the past couple of weeks, go back and listen. They're actually really great episodes, and they kind of all build on each other. So keeping different, keeping real, and remember, your vibe does really attract your tribe, but sometimes you've got to level up your vibe before you can attract the right tribe. Catch you on Friday's episode, Zelly. Bye!